Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own Linux distribution using Cubic. So let's get started. A quick note is that Cubic is the program we're going to be using to make our Linux distro. And if you don't know what Cubic is a program that allows you to install all the programs you want inside Ubuntu. First decompiles, then you can install whatever you want. It brings you to your terminal. And you can even change the default desktop environment through there, which I'll also show you. And this video will be split up in 3 parts. So that's a quick note before we start. Okay, the first thing we have to do is open up Cubic and browse on our computer the installation directory I'm gonna create a new folder on my desktop and call it TestOS. There we go. Okay, now we can browse for it in here. Put recent, go to this desktop and TestOS, open it, select, and now we can click on next. We have to browse for Ubuntu ISO, which I'll leave a link for the description. So you will need a ISO file. Let's first change the volume ID. I guess we can't. Let's change the volume ID from here to test OS. I'm gonna change also the here name to testos.iso. And for the version, I'm gonna set it to 1.00. Oh, and it changes the computer name. Great. The file name test OS 1.00.iso. Click on next, and now it's gonna decompile our ISO, and then we can add commands, add programs, do whatever we want. But you also need a virtualization platform so you can run your operating system once you're done with it. So I recommend VirtualBox since it's free. But if you want to shell out a couple of dollars, you can always buy VMware Workstation Pro. But I recommend VirtualBox personally. So you'll need VirtualBox to create your operating system's virtual machine. Box is not responding. Great. But you'll need VirtualBox so you can create your virtual machine. Then you can run your operating system through that. So you have to do that. And after this decompiles, we have to first do a sudo add-app-repository universe. And what this does, it adds all of the repositories that we would ever need to install programs. All of the repositories that are available for Ubuntu, we can have. And we can even install a third-party desktop environment. The one I recommend is lubuntu. It's the Lubuntu desktop environment. Okay, so the decompiling is almost complete. Let's just wait a couple more seconds for it to be fully complete. And then we can enter in our first command. Okay, so it loaded everything. Now we can do with our first command. I have it in my clipboard, so I'm going to paste it and press enter or Control-C to cancel. But I obviously want to proceed, so press enter. Okay. Now the first thing we have to do is install Python pip. Since Python comes in for installed with Linux, but pip doesn't. And that is basically like you get a fully fledged operating system without the bootloader. That's pretty much like this. So just Python sudo apt install python 3-pip. Press enter. I don't want repeat the last command and not dot pip dash pip. Okay, press enter and let it go. Press Y. Okay, so it's installing pip for Python. And after that, now we can do pip dash dash version to see the version. Wait for it to load our prompt. Okay, now we do a pip dash dash version. Something is wrong with this, but pip is installed. The next thing we have to do is install NeoFetch. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to customize NeoFetch. Just install sudo apt install NeoFetch. Let it go. Let it get all of these packages and then install them. Okay, now we can type in NeoFetch. It shows this Ubuntu logo, but leave for now as is. We're going to customize that in the next video. But for now, the next thing we have to do is install a third-party desktop environment. For this example, I'm going to do Cinnamon. So just install sudo apt. I'm just actually going to do Ubuntu. Sudo apt install ubuntu-desktop. Wait for it to load. Sometimes it takes a while to do this, so let's just wait for this to do its thing. There we go. It automatically pressed Y. And now it's going through the races of installing Cinnamon. So let's wait for Cinnamon to install. After that, we're going to install some third-party programs. Maybe VirtualBox. And a antivirus. Okay, so wait for Cinnamon to install. And after that, we are going to install VirtualBox. Okay, and this here is very important. Don't select the GNOME lock screen. Select the SDDM, which is the Lubuntu's lock screen. It works so much better. And it makes everything different for it to look much cooler like that. Once this is done, we're going to install VirtualBox. And at that point, I'm going to end this first part. And I'm going to show you in the next part all about customizing NeoFetch. So let's wait for Cinnamon to install. This sometimes takes a lot of time since it has to compile an entire desktop environment and not some simple program like Vim or VirtualBox or VMware or Visual Studio Code or even Sasumi. Let's wait for this to install. Another thing we can bundle in is Sasumi, but we're not going to get into that in this video. Let's wait for this to complete. Okay, it's decompiling X screensaver, and if you want you can read all this text that fastly goes by if you're that much of a technical person. It's setting up Peppery's icon theme, which is my favorite icon theme, by the way. Just have to tell you that. I'm using it on my Ubuntu computer. I absolutely love the Peppery's icon theme. They look so good. They don't have for every icon, but for the ones they have, they're pretty much the best icons on the market. I tried Zora and Norford icons. They are not as good. I always get lost with these. And these look so better on my system at least. But it's obviously your option. You can change them obviously. Okay. So let's now, once this loads, clear our terminal to not be messy. Clear. There we go. We're gonna do a sudo apt install git. And if you don't know what git is a repository. I already have a whole dedicated video on Git and GitHub. I'll leave a link for that in the description. Okay, it comes installed. It's already installed. The next thing we have to install is Vim. To do that, just type in sudo apt install Vim. Vim is already installed. Okay. So I think that pretty much wraps up part 1. So make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And with all that said, bye.